Welcome to the Kay Willis Positive Vibes Podcast. Thank you for tuning in to the Kay Willis Positive Vibes Podcast. Kay Willis Positive Vibes Talk Show on 1580 thepraise.com, a gold chip communication station. And it's part 2. I have Lauren. She is back. Lauren is an accomplished graduate of Central State University, one of Ohio's premier historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs. And Lauren is currently a full-time legislative aide to Assistant Minority Leader D. Jarrells. And Lauren's ambition doesn't stop there. She has her sights set on law school and dreams of becoming an attorney dedicated to advancing justice through the legal system for all. So thank you, Lauren. Central State's in the house.
In the house.
Come on now, Centralians.
Yes, Centralians. Shout out to all
Shout
the
out
Centralians.
to all the Centralians.
And the Marauders.
And the Marauders.
Yes.
Forgot for Central for State. So we left off with no regrets. And Lauren was just hitting some gems. I mean, this is very encouraging for people that want to go to college. They've been inspiring to go to college. They said, hey, you know what? I'm non-traditional. I didn't go straight out of high school. We are talking to you, and we are talking to the ones that want to go straight out of high school. So this is very encouraging. I mean, she went to Central State in 2018, graduated in 2022.
Yes, ma'am.
Out here doing big things. So I am so proud of her.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. So that's why she is here on the show and just getting some motivation for you guys out there. So we left it off on no regrets.
Yes.
And I asked Lauren, I said, now what would you have told the younger you? She said, I would have said no regrets. So one of the beautiful things about the no regrets was living in the moment. We have to live in the moment. A lot of times we try to chase what's going in the future. You know, we got to chase the bag. And now we're chasing the bag.
Yep.
But instead of chasing the bag, live in the moment.
Yes.
And see how to obtain it. And then not to live in the past. We need to live in the moment. I mean, thank God for the past. We're going to learn from the past. Right. We're going to learn all the lessons, but we're going to live in the present. So that was a good gem. Come on now. Thank you. Because she said she would tell her younger self that. I said, younger and current. Because sometimes I do that too. Like, if you think about the future, like, Dad, well, I need to live in the moment for right now. So that is, yes, a good confirmation for that.
And if there's any reason or any time that you might be thinking, oh, I could be doing something more, or I could be doing this, or let me do that, or this is where I'm trying to go. Think about you 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 9 months ago, even a year ago. That version of yourself would have died to be where you are right now. Yes. And when I started realizing that, I prayed for these moments. I cried for these moments. And where I was a year ago, I couldn't even imagine being here a year ago. But I'm blessed to be here. But me a year ago was probably thinking, oh, let me itch and scratch to get to this next thing. And so it's just like, there's always going to be something next.
Yes.
There's always going to be something that you should be aiming for, but that shouldn't take away from the joy that you feel living in the moment. Into bask in the, pat myself on the back like, I did that.
Yes.
I really did that. So I want, if I don't give anything else, pat yourself on the back right now.
Yes, come on. I'm about to pat myself on the back. Live in the moment and the joy that you have. And then we also touch base about bullying. Because when you're in school, even when you're not in school, if you're at work, like you said, your brother's at work, got bullied. We talked about bullying, and we talked about, you know, being a darker complexion and things that people have told us that is still like, well, you cute to be dark. Well, Dad, well, what you supposed to, you know, so stuff like that. And she said she stopped wearing dresses. But, honey, she has on a dress today. She is gorgeous inside and out. Come on now.
You.
So we talked about that. So if you guys have kids out there, tell your kids to stop mistreating people because how they look. Come on now. If they dark, light, brown, we need to treat everybody fair.
Treat
and
people how you want to be treated.
Yes, how you want to be treated. The golden rule. That's how I live my life. The golden rule. Because if you treat somebody how you want to be treated, then you ain't. I mean, it rains on the unjust and the just. So it's always going to be something. Life is not going to be perfect.
Right.
Because we live in the world. But when you put that good energy out and all of that, and treat people how you want to be treated, guess what? All that stuff got to come back. It has to come back. Yes. You reap what you sow. So sow good seeds.
Yes, definitely put good stuff out there, and it should return to you.
Yes, it shall return to you. So we are going to embrace everything, brown skin girls. We're gonna embrace that beautiful complexion.
Yes, all the good melanin.
All that good. Yes, that helps with the sun. That's why we have darker complexion. Goes off of genes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, definitely. So thank God. Shout out to God.
Shout out to God.
Shout out to God for the beautiful complexions, honey. Yes. So now Lauren has a platform. It's called The Elephant in the Room. You want to touch base on that?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Part of the reason why I created The Elephant in the Room, and I'll spell it for you if you want to find me on Instagram, TheElephantin, the room. I'm not going to spell the room for you, but it is a all pop culture, all politics, turning into sometime soon TikTok and other social medias, but primarily on Instagram right now. And what I use it to do is to educate and to uplift our communities and to provide them political knowledge on what's going on, because it's a lot going on. And to be quite frank, I do politics for a living, but that doesn't mean that everybody does. And it shouldn't be that you have to do politics for a living to understand what's going on. And so I wanted to be able to explain these things in a way not only do I understand, but when I talk to my friends, this is how I explain stuff to them. And I want them to understand these specific things that some of our rights are being infringed on. Some of our things that we would like to do they're being made harder to do. Some joys in life that people enjoy, they're not able to do. And these are all things that are touched by politics. And a lot of people don't believe that politics impacts their life and that they can't see themselves. And I just want to highlight some of the flaws in the system. And if there's a flaw in the system, why can't we believe that we can fix it? And so I want to empower but educate, because I think education is a very big thing, and if you don't see yourself represented, then you're not going to feel compelled to even understand what's going on. And that's how we are not represented out here. So got to be in these spaces, but you have to be educated, know what you're talking about. So I'm trying to help that, but I'm trying to keep it fun. I'm trying to keep it light. I'm trying to talk about it in the ways that's going to be engaging, cute colors, good videos, like not going to be super dry and buttoned up. I'm trying to be the Gen Z, if you will, of the politics game. I'm trying to put it out in a way where you're going to be like, oh, wow, I didn't know that. It wasn't that bad. So follow me.
Yes, follow her. So you said you mentioned pop culture in it. So how are you going to bring like the pop culture into the elephant in the room?
So pop culture element of the elephant in the room would be touching on cases that are going on now. So we all know that Young Thug is currently battling the longest case.
That RICO case.
Yeah, the longest case that the state of Atlanta has ever seen. And a lot of people don't know these different things. And why is it being held up? Why has the judge been thrown out? Why are these different things? So I want to be able to highlight for people that might not gravitate initially to just the thought of politics, how it's going to really impact their lives. One thing that I like to bring up, and it's not even technically pop culture, but it's not super politics, would be that there are regulations that control the amount of air versus chips in your bag of chips. And so if you ever picked up a bag of chips and said, wow, it's 4 chips in here.
I know, right?
And you're like, oh, they took advantage of me. I got my 99 cents. Whole time, the government is the reason why that the chip company can only put this amount of chips, but they have to put this percentage of air in the bag. And what the companies were doing is they were putting a lot more air than chips. And so there was a regulation that made it where you got the fair amount of chips. And so like those are just the little ways that people don't realize, like everything is regulated. Everything has some touches, some hands, but it's the more that you know. And so as you guys follow me on my platform, you'll be able to see how I'm integrating the pop culture into things. I'm not going to touch on, our most recent case that has come out. But,
oh, Lord
yeah, but we all can imagine what that one is. But just to keep people up to date in a way that isn't, negative or degrading, but facts and facts only.
Just facts and education.
And education, yes.
Yeah. So will you have like games and stuff on there too?
I'm working to just keep it engaging.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now I have a lot of story posts. I do polls. I'll do like gifs and memes.
Ooh.
So it's just really trying to be fun and engaging. Shout out to my my content creator, Olivia.
Come
She
on.
has helped me kind of keep things fresh, exciting, and she loves graphic design. So I just think with the educational piece that I'm able to provide and her coming with all of like the great ways to put it out there, I'm excited for the future of this platform as well and how we're going to be able to kind of touch a lot of people.
That's good. You guys make sure you follow the elephant in the room. Also, now back to the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Yes, I like that.
You see what I did there? You said it's a little bit of a double entendre, a triple if you consider the fact that I'm a delta. So that's the third,
okay.
the third elephant in the room.
That's the third one for you. Okay. So, you still want to go to school to be an attorney.
I do.
Let's talk about that. Well, you are going to be an attorney.
I am the speaker.
Yes,
Thank
we're
you.
speaking it. Yeah, so let's talk about that. How long have you, did you want to be an attorney?
The funny thing about that is when I was younger, apparently I talked a lot. And so my dad told me, he was like, I probably was in the third grade. He was like, you should be a lawyer. And I was like, why? He was like, you talk a lot. And from in that moment, I was like, okay, valid. But I actually looked into it and I was like, so what does a lawyer really do? And a lawyer is supposed to help people. And I feel like my purpose, like the reason why God put me here in some capacity is to help people. And if I could do that and get people that were wrongfully convicted out of jail or, help it with families that are immigrating over here. It doesn't take 10 years and tens of thousands of dollars. Yeah. I'm interested in doing that. And so I've always wanted to be a lawyer. But then when I looked into the different types, I settled on either civil, immigration or civil justice. And so trying to just see how that shakes out. I'm studying for the LSAT right now, which is the law school admissions test. And so I need that to get into law school. But from there, I just realized it's a big investment in myself. So I have to disregard how expensive it may be, but to think of the end goal and that I'll be able to help people and help people that cannot help themselves. So that's the reason why I wanted to go to law school.
That's awesome. So you said you're studying for your test. I know you'll pass it. What university do you want to go to?
I'm deciding on if I want to stay in Ohio because I'm thinking intentionally about whether if I go to a different state for law school, I should stay in that state because I'm going to have to learn the bar and pass it for that particular state. Right. And so I'm thinking about North Carolina. I've looked at Atlanta. I've looked at, of course, Columbus. There's a few schools here, and I've had plenty of people to tell me to stay here. And then ultimately, if DC would work out, I would go to DC in a heartbeat. So those are kind of the areas that I'm thinking of now, but nothing super concrete because I feel like I can be anywhere.
Yes, wherever God leads you.
Wherever God leads me.
Yes, like He did for you in school. You went to Loyola, and then you were like, no, that's not going to work out.
Come on back.
You came back, and then you were like, okay, your high school principal brought the band and everybody down from Central State. He was like, you know what? I'm going to go to Central State.
I'm going to go to Central State, right.
Yes. And then you let God have His way, 2018 to 2022. You graduated and doing big things. So yeah, we're just gonna let God use you wherever He wants you to go.
There we go.
It's gonna be right on time. But you're studying. When do you have to take the test?
I'm studying now, and it's going to be the end of November. So
okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, may God continue to bless you, favor you, and
Thank
you remember
you.
everything that you need.
Right.
Yes. And He give you the test with the answers that you know.
Come on, say that
it's
one.
multiple tests, but we need a test with the answers you know. Yes, the ones you know. Okay. So we're going to speak that in Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Yes. I know that's right.
Yes. Thank you, Father. So with your job now, is there a way that can help you with law school?
As far as I think what my job can help me with now is more so just building a network and maybe just having like a great letter of recommendation from my boss. As far as any type of maybe financial help, I would hope. I might have to look into it, but from that, no. I think I would have to take time off in order to go to school as well. So I'm not sure how they would, what else would be, means of support. Well, we believe in scholarships and everything. I'm looking at everything, everybody.
Yes.
If you listening to this and want to throw me some money, no, I'm just kidding.
No, seriously, you listen to this, you know some grants, you know some scholarships, you know some people that can help.
Yeah.
You got somebody in Atlanta, Georgia that they got a house in the back she can stay at. Come on now, God, have your way, Lord.
I know that's right.
Yes.
It said, find your way to me.
Come on now, Lord. Yes. So we're going to favor over that. And with your current position, though, what are some of your current roles?
Yes, so I am the legislative aide to Assistant Minority Leader Dontavius Gerald and represents District 1 in Columbus. So what I really do is, not to say I just run the office, but I answer emails, I schedule meetings, we go on tours, we do community events. One thing that I'm very, very happy to be able to help facilitate is a lot of community initiatives, because I know that the population that we serve looks like me and you.
Yes.
And they're disinvested in, and they're discouraged. They need health care, they need these resources. And so we've already be able to put on a community resource fair, and we're actually planning to have our next resource fair, which is going to be a health focused fair.
Okay.
And so interested in having just different vendors there that can provide free prescription drugs.
Wow.
If you don't have insurance, how do we get you signed up? And then right at the next booth, I want to have the things that you would need insurance to get. Do you have diabetes? Do you need a glucose monitor? Do you need all of these other things? But it's a one-stop shop. We're gonna have health screenings there, and so we're meeting our community, the people that need us in their community. We're not saying, oh, come to downtown off of State Street. It is, we will be in Mount Vernon, meeting the people. We were in downtown at the Columbus Metropolitan Library, and we had over 17 vendors, JFS, Medicaid.
Wow.
We had a food pantry. We had mental health services. We had all of these things that people want and need, but sometimes they're inaccessible. And we want to make it where these things can be utilized by the people that need it the most, not just the people at the top. So very happy about being able to be impactful that way. People call our office every day and they're at their wits' end. They have had their SNAP benefits discontinued. They've been on hold for 4 or 5 hours. They need medical assistance. They have been wronged by some entity, or they just need to reach out to somebody. I've had somebody just call my office today for 30 minutes just to vent about his frustrations. And while at the state level there was nothing to do, I can connect you to local resources. And if it's something that's federal, I can, point you in the right direction for you to make sure that your voice is truly heard. Because what I tell all the people that call our office is, one, thank you for calling.
Yeah.
You took the initiative to seek us out, and I thank you for that. But secondarily is, I'm here for accountability and transparency, so I'm going to help you in the way that I know how to. And if I don't know, I'm going to ask somebody.
That's good.
And so that you're going to get served one way or the other. You just might give me 5 minutes to do so. But it's just really, I just love the fact I'm able to touch people, because I said my purpose, I feel like, is to help people. And so the reason why I went into this work was because I knew law school would take a few years, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I wanted to see how impactful I could be in the time before that. And a lot of laws that lawyers and attorneys preside over or help their clients get out of is stuff that's already in law. And so my thought was, let's be with the movers and shakers that's making the laws and see that maybe there might be a way that we can prevent this bad bill to go out and that will ruin lives. Or maybe I can help facilitate and help my boss put some really, really good legislation out there that will really help. And I am blessed to work for someone that is doing the work and that has bills that will impact people that look like you and me, and they'll be able to see it and feel it in real time. So we got a lot of good stuff going, but I'm just blessed to be a part, because at the end of the day, I didn't see myself here. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that don't see themselves in politics, but there is an avenue and it's space for us. It's not just one person there. Like, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of spaces. We just need to fill up these spaces. And so I've worked very intentionally to create a pipeline for Central State students to go to the State House.
Wow.
So we have an internship program that is already at the State House, but now just making it intentional about those applications and making sure they reach all the way at our HBCUs and they come back up to the State House and to work with them to let them know if you're not able to drive an hour every day, that's fine. If you can give us a day, or if you can coordinate it with your winter break or your summer vacation, come. And so hopefully this will allow more Black people, more brown people, more people that look like us from disenfranchised communities to fill up space in the State House so that these laws will represent us. And, you know, the members that are, you know, with us are able to mentor us, pour into us, and let us know that one day you can be a state rep, or you can go and be this elected position, or you can just go and be super impactful in your community. Like, there are so many different things that you can do. You just maybe need to see somebody that looks like you to do it first, or just have that pathway created for you to see that there's room. And so I'm just happy about that, to be able to help, because I didn't have that opportunity. Like, I had a different opportunity, but if I would have had something directly from Central State, I just think about where I would be one bad mama jamma right now.
You bad now. So wow, I love that you said that. And then you also said there is space for us.
There is space for everybody.
There is space for us.
Because I feel like sometimes a lot of, and I'm not sure if this is just for minorities or if every group feels this way, but I know sometimes it's almost like, oh, there's only one at the top. Like, oh, you have to pull that person down for you to climb up. And I'm here to say that there's room for everybody. Once again, you don't have to pit yourself against one another, because one thing, I have a few mentees, and I pour into them and let them know that, because this is how I got to where I am now, just with this thought: wherever God has what He has for me, no one can ever take from me.
Come on now.
And so if you hold yourself to that esteem, to know that what is for you will always be for you, and no one could ever take it away, then the places that you are, no one could take you out of those places. And so I think it's just being rooted in God and then yourself, to know that there's power in both of those things.
Absolutely.
And that the power of somebody else's hand would never take God's hands off of you. So I mean, I don't want to get too on it, but
you own it.
Just gotta let people know there is so much room out here, and there's so much space and opportunity. And just because you might see one when you enter does not mean that it can't be 4 or 5 by the time that you in there. And by the time you leave, let's hope it's 10. You know, let's pray for growth in numbers, and not the fact that we're trying to pull each other down.
Absolutely. Yeah. And favor ain't fair. That's pretty much what that is. Favor is not fair. And like I said, what God has for you is for you.
Yep.
So can't nobody stop it. Can't nobody pull you back. It's going to happen. But then also, when you're in positions, always to help bring people up. And don't be like, oh, this position for me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the only one who could do that. But when people do stuff like that, guess what? They blessings stop.
That is so
your blessings
true.
Gonna stop. You ain't gonna be able to get to a certain point. So you might as well help pull the person up. And if they go ahead of you, that's what God had for them.
Right.
It had nothing to do with you, but at least you could help. You sowed that seed. As long as you keep on sowing seeds, honey, you gonna always, what we say, honey, do unto others as you want done to yourself.
Exactly.
So you're gonna reap what you sow always. So if you sowing that good seed,
it's gonna come back.
It's gonna come back.
Yeah.
So why hinder someone? You know, why stop that when you want the good too?
Exactly.
You want to be at the top. So why you gonna try to stop the other person from going to the top? And I love that you said, honey, you are having them go to the HBCUs. If you could take out and you take your winter break, your spring break, summer break. Come out. We'll help you. You know, it's a lot that you can do, and you're going to see people that look like us. Yes. Come on now. So thank you for doing that. How, if they are at Central State and they want to, they're like, oh, I want to do that program, who should they talk to? Or
if they look up ohiolegislature.gov, that is like the State House's website, and there is a tab that is for like internship opportunities, and then from there it'll have its own portal. But for this Central State specific application, that's something that they would have to reach out to like a Central State staffer, and I believe they'll be able to provide that. And it might be through just the College of Humanities, but I know that, and I'll tell everybody this, these representatives are from various backgrounds and industries and professions. So it's not like you have to be a political science or a criminology or this like special thing. You can be a biology person and say, oh, I want to go to the State House. Let's see. We have doctors that are state representatives, and they're bringing their expertise from having had undergrad in biology, going to med school and all these different things, but they're able to advise us on certain bills and say, honestly, that's not the best way that we should do this. And I'm a doctor, that's why I can say that. So we need diverse opinions. We need diverse people, professions. And so don't be discouraged if you don't think that you have anything political in your background, because you're in college, you're supposed to be learning. Like, this is a learning experience. And if you don't like it, that's okay too. You know that you don't like it though, instead of Xing yourself from an opportunity because you're afraid or because you didn't think that the opportunity was there. So trying to make it a little bit easier so that there is opportunity in space. So
that's awesome. So no matter, regardless of your major, reach out if that's something you want to do. And then probably career services too. Career services, see if they have the opportunity. And you can also go online as well.
Yes.
So there are opportunities out there, you guys. And if you guys know of any other opportunities, just let us know as well. Yes. So there are opportunities out there. Now, you also mentioned with your current position that you guys are going to have a health focus fair.
Yes.
When is that going to happen?
So we just solidified the date, and it will be November 19th. So that's a Tuesday.
Okay, yes. So that'll be coming up. And then you guys going to have free prescriptions, basically a one-stop shop. You guys meet in the community, so they don't have to go downtown. We're going to come to you. You're going to get your screenings. If it's mental health, if it's for prescriptions, diabetes, so we'll have high blood pressure,
all the resources there for if you don't walk away with something in that moment, you're connected to know. And we're going to have it where, like I said, if you don't have insurance, you'll be able to get signed up. But then we'll also have a group where if you don't have a primary care doctor, we can get you signed up with a primary care doctor, because we know that oftentimes that, our communities have poor doctor turnouts, and, we have higher diseases, hypertension, diabetes and stuff. And a lot of those things can be prevented if you were to have had a primary care doctor. And so we want to just help end a lot of generational curses by giving these things to people that they didn't have before.
Yes. So a lot of resources, and probably, like you said before, the previous ones, they had a food pantry.
Yes. I'm still working to see who additionally we can have. But we'll be primarily health focused. And so probably try to find someone for like healthy like food and stuff like that as well, or at least the resources for you to know how to cook healthy and have like probably some fresh produce available, just so we can keep the health up.
Yes, we are going to keep the health on November the 19th. How can they get that information?
If you go online and look up the state of Ohio's website and find District 1's contact information, you'll be able to reach out to us. But if you would like to contact us directly, phone number is 614-466-5343. Once again, 614-466-5343. I'll be the one answering the phone. I'll be able to get you connected. If you want to reach out via email, rep01@ohiohouse.gov. Once again, I'll be the one that responds to and be able to get that information forwarded to you.
That's awesome. Now, how can we personally connect with you? Social media, the elephant in the room.
Yeah, so the elephant in the room is my, of course, my platform that I like to stand on for all things pop culture and politics. But on a personal note, my Instagram is Lori, so it is LAUR, 4 E's and 1_, and that's on Instagram. You can find me on there. Love to connect.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Shout out to Lauren.
Thank you. Shout out to Miss K. Willis. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
1580 The Praise.
Yes, 1580 The Praise. And if you guys want to be, have a sponsorship on my show, please email me, Willis, Positive Vibes Talk Show @gmail.com. And that's KAYWILLIS. And thank you for tuning in to the K. Willis Positive Vibes Talk Show on 1580thepraise.com, a Gold Chip communication station. Like, share, and subscribe to the K. Willis Positive Vibes podcast. Thank you for tuning in to the K. Willis Positive Vibes podcast. Check out my book, The Principles of Overcoming Life's Obstacles, a 31-day journey to positive living, available on Amazon.com. Just type K. Willis. And thank you for tuning in to the K. Willis Positive Vibes podcast.